Hi, I'm Anita, Marjan's grandmother. Marjan was a really good person, especially when she was young. She always had a lively spirit and she was always pretty stuck in her ways. She stayed true to herself. I remember when she was young, she wanted to create her own religion. And she even made like this little holy book with all of her little verses and stories. And I told her, I will be your first disciple. Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories. She was always ambivalent to the world around her, but she always fought injustice. Especially when she was 10, she really started to blossom, and I think she started to realize who she was. That was really cool to see. I remember we got many phone calls home from her teachers. Her private school broke up into the two sexes, and Marjan would go out to recess and take off her hijab and then tell all of her friends to do the same. She really did not like to be told what to do, which led to some conflicts later in life. She was always really into like political justice, but I think that's just because there were so many demonstrations in our town when she was young, and having parents that are really into things like that, political endeavors, never really helped her lively spirit. And then the bombs came during the war, and that really rattled her. I feel a little bit guilty for having her stay in Iran for so long. And not getting her a passport until she was older. But ultimately that was her parents' decision, and I can only imagine though, because I lived in a place with a high political climate as well when I was young, and I can only imagine what kind of emotional baggage she carries with her now. We spent a lot of time in the basement of our apartment complex, fearing what happened outside our door. Another story of her compassion, we had a neighbor girl, someone who we took in because her family life wasn't good, and she was a maid, a house, keeper-upper, and she had a crush on the neighbor boy, but she wasn't able to write, so Marjan wrote letters for her to give to him. That was good while it lasted, but she was always really stubborn, and really she knew what she wanted. When her parents went on a trip, she gave them this big, long, elaborate list of all the things that she wanted while they were out. I remember she had these 1983 Nikes that she wore until the soles you know, ran out. I mean, it was like foot on the ground, you know what I'm talking about? But I always tried to instill wisdom in her just because I knew, you know, at least I thought I knew what she was going through. She always asked me, how do I keep my voice so young? And I said, I soak my vocal cords in ice water every morning and every night, and I drink lots of jasmine tea. Yeah. I also remember one of my, like, you know, catchphrases or something that I said a lot was always keep your dignity and stay true to yourself. And I think that was one of the things that Marjan kept with her, which is really good. I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.